Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back for another video on the channel. Well, it's not a video, it's a live stream, isn't it? But you can watch it back as a video. It's Boxing Day yesterday. Lots of goals, lots of action. We had all the top four winning games of football as well. We had playoff chasers lose games of football. We had teams inside the playoffs lose games of football as well. I hope you had a lovely Christmas. Let us know what you got this Christmas. I wanted a new chair. I got a new chair. I got a new tripod for Christmas that I bought myself very kindly. Now, there was one thing that I really wanted for Christmas, and it was a new co-host. And
You're not funny, Ben. You're not funny, Ben, at all. Grow up.
And I went to go under my tree, and I found my co-host. I want a receipt. I get the receipt. It's been used. I didn't want that one. I want the other one. This one's too monotonal.
Which other one? The monotonal one. Oh God.
Yeah, you.
I'll help you.
How are you, mate? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, mate, and all the goodwill shenanigans that we like to do over here. Glad to see that your Boxing Day went a lot better than mine. Good to see your Christmas Day went a lot better than mine as well. So, glad to be here. Really excited. Really can't wait to talk about all the games in League One, bar my own team. So let's get the show on the road, shall we?
If you could like the show as well, that'd be massively appreciated. And also subscribe. Press subscribe. Join in with the chat down below as well. We've also got some membership content coming this week as well. Two videos on the membership page. So the link is down below. Become a member for Christmas. It'd be really appreciated. $1.99. You get 4 videos extra per month. There's 27 on there as well. Evening, fellas. Looking forward to this one. Hello. Also, well, I never really noticed there hasn't been a draw. Yeah, very well done, Charlie. I've got loads of stats for that. There you are. For the first time this season, a game week that there hasn't been a draw. We won't replace that. We cannot replace it.
Thanks, Charlie. I saw your tweet, Charlie. It's much appreciated.
You know what Jake's like? Jake's a bit like turkey on a Christmas dinner. Nobody really wants it as a first choice.
Traditional.
Oh, you're traditional, and it's hard to replace. You can't just have a chicken on there, can you? I'd rather have a curry on Christmas Day, if I'm honest with you.
I had a curry tonight, Ben.
I had one last night. What do you have?
I had a lamb Rogan Josh. It was lovely.
Ooh, I had a chicken jalfrezi. Should we get into it then?
No, I think we should keep talking about Christmas dinners.
It's overrated.
I don't think we should talk about football today, Ben. I'm
not. No, you know something? There would be people on this channel that I think would prefer us just to talk.
Can I also just say, Ben, I've always said that you have to wait to the new year to look at the table, right? I've always said
it's always before Christmas, and then after that, it's
absolutely you don't look at it again until Lincoln are in the playoffs. Correct.
Until Easter, yeah. Until
I'm glad we're on the same page, Ben.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Ready for the first time ever in League One live history, Northampton have been on the show first game for 2 weeks running. In both games, they got beat 5-0 and 4-1. So maybe not so great.
Lucky boys.
Kevin Nolan went into Northampton after a long wait without being in management. A 4-1 defeat away at the Madstad. Northampton Town have won now one of their last 9 league away wins, one of their last 10 league games against Reading, drawing 4, losing 5. With none of the last 4 matches, witnessing a side scoring more than 1 goal before this one as well. And Northampton Town have only won 2 of their last 13 league matches on Boxing Day, losing 9 of which. However, another goal, another defeat, 9 goals against in the last 2. This isn't what you tend to expect from a Cobbler's side, who last year were good defensively, however, lost, the spine of the team, didn't they? In the summer, when you think about it. Great result for Reading, first win under new management.
Yeah, great for Reading, but they're absolutely woeful, or they were last week. Ben, Kevin Nolan at Northampton. I understand John Brady walked away, and I completely understand they probably weren't prepared for it. But I feel like they maybe could have aimed themselves a little bit higher than Kevin Nolan. You look at his last gig in management; he guided Notts County to the playoffs. Hello, Nige. Shame you weren't there yesterday. You were very fortunate. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a great appointment. I understand. Agree with that, John. I can understand that he's a young head coach. He's gone to West Ham. He's worked under David Moyes and potentially, he's won the European Conference League, whatever the Mickey Mouse Carabao Cup equivalent of Europe. That if Lincoln won, it'd be like the Champions League. I don't think it's a great appointment. Like I say, it's Notts County team. We played them early on in the season. He was sacked. They were awful, and he played his part. I mean, he didn't get them promoted. They lost to Coventry in the semi-final, didn't get promoted, and they had a real hangover, and it didn't look good at all. And I'm not sure. I'll tell you what it's similar to, Napper. Do you remember when Matt Taylor was at Walsall and he somehow ended up at Shrewsbury? I feel quite similar with Kevin Nolan. He's not done enough to land a League One job, and I think there's plenty of League Two coaches that will have done more in their managerial career. I feel like he's got the job based on his name, and I don't think that's right. I don't know. It's not an appointment, and you've seen the performances with Northampton. They really lack squad depth, Bar the first 11, they're looking at playing kids or people that just don't have haven't played a lot of football. And yesterday they were absolutely dismantled by a Reading team that I only saw a week ago. Ben and I was telling you how bad they are. So if Northampton are on that sort of level, then I am worried. And they weren't a team that I put in my bottom four at the start of the season because of John Brady. Whereas now, if I was doing a revised one and John Brady, now I know he's not the manager, I'm worried for Northampton, Ben, and I'm sure you are too.
5 defeats in the last 6, now conceded 38 goals, 2 more than Crawley, 1 more than Cambridge, 3 less than Shrewsbury, and 4 more than bottom of the table, Burton Albion, which is a worry. They've scored 22 goals and they've still won 5. They've lost 50% of the matches. Last year, they snuck to 60 points. Already, they need to go and get 39 from a possible 24 games, which looks miles off it. They lost the likes of Shering, Leonard and Bowie in the summer. And I would go too far and say for Northampton Town are irreplaceable. You cannot get that quality back. 2 premium loans and a decent player that played, I think, 40 times for them last year as well. That was very surprised, dropped down a level, but he dropped down a level because of the team that he went to. On Kevin Nolan, I'm not sure about the appointment. I don't feel like he suits a football club. Even down to him walking to the ground, you see him in the trackie. I thought he just doesn't suit this. He looks, I don't know, there was a look to it I didn't like. I also thought that, big name. And you look at these managers that all of a sudden have had a while out the game that suddenly come back from absolutely nowhere. You look at Ian Holloway, had 4 years out of the game, comes back in on the name. Kevin Nolan on the name as well. And I don't think it's an unbelievable appointment. I think that what was out there, the likes of Liam Richardson, Pete Wilde, Dino Marmria.
Gets his own gaffer in there, look.
Those 3 names, I think that, they could have got. I know Pete Wilde went for the prestigious job of leading Fleetwood Town to the Champions League, which is a big job as well.
It's going to be 586 when it's finished.
The same age as Jake Song, by the way. Stevenage 0, Wycombe 3. Stevenage won both of their league games against Wycombe Wanderers, both by the scoreline of 1-0. How different this was as the Chairboys coast to a 3-0 victory away from home. Wycombe have scored 31 away goals in 12 Sky Bet League One away matches, winning 8, drawing 3, losing just once on the opening day of the season, a 3-2 defeat to Wrexham on that opening day. Last season, they only scored 29 in 23 away games. They won 8, the same amount they've already won this year in 12. They did draw 7 and lost 8. Only collecting 31 points. Already, they've collected 27, which is phenomenal turn for the Chairboys as well. And prior to this one, Wycombe Wanderers have failed to win any of their last 4 league away matches against Stevenage, where Stevenage have won 3, drawn the other one as well. And they haven't scored in their last 3 previous to this one as well. It could have been more. Richard Coney could have had a hat-trick as well. Perfect performance on the road. Cameron Humphreys, brilliant. Coney, brilliant. 3-0, 3 points, clean sheet. And Matt Farley was probably most buzzing about what? He'd probably be saying, well, they won a corner.
2 words. Can you guess them, Ben? 2 words for you on this.
Brilliant.
Richard Coney.
Yeah.
Wow. That was as good as a centre-forward performance you're ever going to see at this level. The way he held the ball up. He caused Piergiani a physical issue, and Piergiani is, well, we know what Carl Piergiani offers. He had the better of him. He ran in behind. He made him run towards their own goal. He was devastating yesterday, and he's been one hell of a find for Wycombe Wanderers, and you have to commend their recruitment team. But they built their attack around him, with the likes of, Onyedinma, Humphreys and Labala in behind him. They perfectly complement what he wants to do. Hold the ball up, give the ball into a neat, tidy player like Cam Humphreys, spinning behind, and then you've got the pace of Labala and Onyedinma and Coney. And yesterday, Stevenage just couldn't live with it, and they absolutely battered them from start to finish. 8 minutes in, the first goal goes in. Richard Coney, I think there's been links with Leyton, hasn't there? Vaguely on social media this week. I would be surprised if Luton spend the money on him, and if Wycombe let him go, that's almost like jumping off a bridge, almost, isn't it? It's suicide for their promotion hopes. So, yeah, great win for Wycombe. Stevenage weren't really in it, let's be honest. They had Teas Hammond to thank once or twice for keeping them the score relatively respectable, but yes, I don't know. Stevenage just started to get a bit of momentum, haven't they? By lifting themselves well into that mid-table range, but this defeat and results going against them yesterday sort of knocked the stuffing out of them a little bit. So, yeah, Wycombe are unbelievable. They're fantastic, and they deserve to win yesterday. And it probably should have been by more than just the 3 goals.
Richard Coney has taken 45 shots this year, 22 of which have been on target, 11 of which have been scored. He's played 21 League One matches, averaging a goal every 3 in every 4 games as well, which is unbelievable, by the way. And again, John's just said it in the chat, Wycombe have now, yes, you can say stalled in previous weeks. They're 19 unbeaten, winning 14, drawing 5. You're not going to win every week. They've won 3, drawn 3, whereas Birmingham have won their last, I think, 6 games in the league as well, 8 in all comps as well, for the first time since 1981, 46 was the last time they won 8 in the league in a row as well. But they scored 9 more goals than Birmingham City, and defensively as well, they've only conceded 6 more as well. But to get 47 points after 21 games is absolutely phenomenal. They're 14 points clear of 7th place, which is unbelievable when you look at that table. I just think those top 4 of Wrexham and Huddersfield Town, who all won yesterday, 5 of the top 6. Well, if you actually go down to it as well and think about it, 7 of the top 8 won, if you include Mansfield, Barnsley, and Reading in that category. But those top 4, in my opinion, Jake, are miles above the rest. And one of the teams that are now into that top 8 is Mansfield Town, who have recorded back-to-back victories. And they've also recorded back-to-back league wins against Peterborough for the first time since 1998 with a 3-0 win. Yesterday being their largest EFL victory against the Posh since their 3-0 away win in March 1976. And before this one, Mansfield Town had failed to win any of their last 13 league away matches at London Road, losing 11 of which and failing to score in 9 separate occasions in that one. And Peterborough now are winless in their last 5 league games, played on Boxing Day. And we often hear these teams, oh, we're not good on Sky, we're not good against this team, we're not good on certain fixtures of the season. Well, Boxing Day, they've lost 3 of the last 5. Last time they won on Boxing Day was a 3-1 win against the Bantams Bradford City in Sky Bet League 1 in 2017 as well. On the other hand, Mansfield Town are brilliant on Boxing Day, and they haven't lost any of their last 8 league games on Boxing Day, winning 5, losing 1-0 to Morecambe in 2016, Jake. A superb victory for the, well, I'm going to call them the Stags, because I know you have a slightly different name that I don't want to thingy. Bailey Cargill and then Will Evans with a brace as well. Unbelievable victory. Peterborough, again, went down to 10 men towards the end as well. Defensively shambolic yet again from the Posh, who currently sit just 5 points above the bottom line. They've now lost 5 of the last 6. They've conceded 40 goals this year, which is so it's the second most in the league, just 1 behind the Salop.
Mansfield have, yeah, cheers, Ben. Mansfield have got Peterborough's number, mate. Whenever Mansfield and Peterborough come up against each other, I'm going to back Mansfield. They've just figured them out. And yesterday, only 36% possession, but 24 shots on Peterborough's goal, including the 3 that went in. More alarmingly for Peterborough, Ben, 64% possession, 6 shots and 3 on target. They didn't even give themselves a chance. And despite all the great creative and attacking players that Peterborough have in their team, Randall, Kian Hayes has done really well at the minute. Malik Mothersill, Ricky J. Jones, they're just not able to get to click going forward. I was a bit worried I was going to sound like a stereo then, but yeah, no, they're really poor from Peterborough. Mansfield just completely knew that Peterborough are really poor in the transition, and you look at the goals and they all pretty much come from them. Will Evans, the perfect type of centre forward that you want in that position. He's just fantastic at sniffing out opportunities, pressing, and I think I'm not sure if it is actually. When the goal comes, it's because Mansfield are pressing high and they win the ball up the pitch. Never's got no opportunity, no other choice than to bring him down. So yeah, they were fantastic yesterday, Mansfield, and thoroughly deserved the win. Back in and amongst the playoff conversation. Peterborough, like you mentioned, but languishing down in 17th. It's quite bizarre, isn't it, seeing Peterborough where they are, because we've covered this league now for what, 4 or 5 years together, and Peterborough have always naturally been at the top of it. Since beating Cambridge, they've lost 5 of their last 6 games. Since that Derby Day win, they've been really poor, and I don't think Peterborough fans are questioning Fergie too much because of the history of what he's done for them. But I think if it wasn't Ferguson in charge, I think Peterborough probably would have set the manager by now. But yeah, just really poor going backwards. And the problem with Peterborough is they rely on scoring goals so often that when they don't score goals, they just get absolutely battered. So yeah, great win for Stags, for Peterborough. I mean, this must have been an awful event yesterday because it's a stadium full of people I don't like. So I can't say it would have been an event that I'd have been thrilled to be at.
On the good news, I've just found your contract that you signed. Jake, 4-year contract runs out 24-25, and your autograph there as well. So exciting time.
You made me think that was for a fan, and there you are, making me sign a contract.
There you are. Please like the show as well. 23 likes. Let's see if we can get to 100, and also subscribe. We're 1 away from 16.1k. So come on, subscribe. It would mean a lot to me as well. You boys keep me going on a Sunday night. I think this is the first time we've ever done a Friday night show, actually. I think, well, we must, with Christmas, even
I don't know what day it is, Ben. I've completely forgotten.
No. As a Blues fan, because they come in and they want to get a point and they think that's the best. For me, if I went to St Andrews, if I was a manager, I'd be thinking, look, we're going to get beat. If we put 10 men behind the ball, we're going to get beat. If we go attacking, we're going to get beat. I'd just be thinking, let's go and be the best versions of ourselves. Let's be brave. And I would rather lose 4-5-0, but go for it and come away in Birmingham fans thinking, tell you what, they went for it today. And we played really well. We were, instead of, you know what I mean?
You know who you need to manage if you want to win at Birmingham?
Go on.
Mark Kennedy. Mark Kennedy to mastermind a win at Birmingham.
One thing I'll say about Peterborough, the option on the bench yesterday, Chris Conclark, Cipriano, Odo, Sparks. I know they're not a massive fan of Walling, but the team in general yesterday, Donnelly, Katongo, Nevitt, Mills, they're okay. Collins and de Havilland are these. They've got decent players, but they're so far off it. And I know D-Matt wants his style of heavy branded football and would rather lose 5-4 than lose 1-0. I totally get that. But at one time, when's it naive? When's it, with Postecoglou at Spurs, he's getting hammered for it at the minute. Yes, it's a great watch, but you're losing a game of football. It's great if you're winning and you're winning 4-3, you're winning 5, there's your local rivals. But 2 goals a game is relegation form. Fleetwood conceded 83 goals last year, I think it was. Do you know what I mean? For me, I'm a big believer in if you're scoring goals but conceding goals. So if you're winning games 3-2 and 2-2, goals will dry up before you stop conceding them. Or if you're winning if you're drawing games 1-1 or 0-0, like I said about Fleetwood, you will start losing them more likely than winning them. And that's my opinion on Peterborough. At this moment in time, that's the only time I'll try and use that phrase. Today, we'll stick with 3-0 as Leyton Orient also won by 3-0. And slowly but surely, they're putting in a decent run. They've now won 4 of the last 5, drawing the other one, 28 points from 21, winning 8. And we always said that Leyton Orient would eventually climb up that table. Now 9 points off the bottom and just 6 points off the playoffs. Leyton Orient have now won each of their last 4 league matches against Crawley Town without conceding a single goal. It's more wins and clean sheets the O's have recorded against Crawley across their last 14 EFL meetings as well. Leyton Orient have won each of their last 3 league games against Crawley without conceding a goal, which is, again, really, really good at the back. Another stat for you. Leyton Orient have won 6 of their last 8 games on Boxing Day. They've lost the other 2. This is their 5th game in a row against a team beginning with C. Can you give me the teams beginning with C, Jakey?
Well, that Leyton Orient would have played?
Yeah.
I bet there's... Colchester would be one.
Yeah. Crawley are obviously one. Twice, Crawley.
So
You've got 2 clubs
that are
both in League One.
Oh, Charlton.
1. Yeah. Think geographically in League One.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. See in League One. Cambridge, it'll be.
Correct.
Well
done. Thanks, great result for them. Talk to me about this one. Also, sorry, the running order is now down there. Forgot to put it on. Blues, you might have to just wait a little bit tonight, but Birmingham will be getting covered very soon.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, mate. Yeah, Leyton Orient, they did this last year, didn't they? Where they started off quite poorly, and then around sort of November, December, and going into the new year. Do you remember they went to Fratton Park, didn't they? And battered Pompey. Did they beat Bolton at home? They beat Charlton at home around this sort of time last year. And we were thinking Leyton Orient are putting themselves in and amongst the playoff route. And again, you look at them now, they're 6 points off the playoffs, no games in hand, but they've got games in hand on the teams above them, and they can certainly climb. But yesterday it was domination start to finish. Kelman, Adji and Beckel was pretty much a perfect afternoon for them. They were slightly early kickoff, weren't they? I think that must have been for policing issues. But yeah, they were excellent. Richie Wellens, like we say, Ben, all the time, Richie Wellens football, when they get it playing it right, is beautiful to watch. And when they've got the attacking options that they did yesterday, Dan Adji scored his 10th now of the season. Donnelly's been playing in form really well. Ollie O'Neill is a constant threat. And then you've got Ethan Galbraith and Jordan Brown in midfield just causing absolute havoc. And Charlie Kelman, who's struggled at other clubs in League One at this level before, but has really found a home at Leyton Orient. And what I like, Ben, is that they're able to change it and they're able to stay effective with the changes. You're looking at Sonny Perkins coming on, Jayasimi, Don Ball, Sean Clare, all very decent players for this level and certainly players that are better than hanging around the bottom end of this league. So, yeah, really good win for Orient. Really, really pleased for them. They're starting to get into the groove now a little bit and people are starting to get behind them. What I still feel that they're lacking is that bit of investment. I think what separates Leyton Orient to other teams in and around that want the playoffs. I'm not sure Leyton Orient would go and spend 200-300k on a player if they thought they were going to get the playoffs because of them. I don't think the backing's there. Crawley, I watched them on, God, what night was it? Monday night away against Blues. I thought they were defensively pretty good. That went out the window yesterday, clearly, by the looks of it. Completely overran. 4 shots. They were poor going forward against Birmingham, but you sort of put that out because they're playing, you put that as a anomaly because they're playing against the best team this league probably going to ever have seen. But yeah, yesterday against a team that were more well matched against, again, 2 shots on target, 4 shots in general, and they allowed 22 shots on their own goal. So yeah, really poor afternoon for Crawley, but for Leyton Orient, they are slowly but surely, Ben, putting on a show, and it's very nice to watch.
I like that. Very well done. Unfortunately, I'm talking about a refereeing decision, which I never like doing on this channel. I normally try and stick away and leave it to this man next to me to do that. But Wrexham 2, Blackpool 1, and it meant Wrexham now won 49 of their last 58 home league games, 27 out of 35 in the EFL, drawing 5, losing 3 now. Wrexham have lost 11 league matches. Wrexham have lost 1 of 11 league matches on Boxing Day, winning 6, drawing 4. A 2-0 defeat to Rochdale back in 2007, JK. Blackpool have lost 6 of their last 7 league games now on Boxing Day as well, so slightly different. A great start for Blackpool as Ashley Fletcher, who struggled in previous years, puts home from close range from a James Husband cross. Paul Mullins' delightful volley halfway into that second half, equalised for the home side, and then a late penalty from Stephen Fletcher. However, we have to talk about the decision. It's absolutely poor. Oliver Casey was penalised for handball. He's back to play. His arms are in.
It doesn't even hit his arm. It's his back.
It's his back. His arms are up. It's probably a yard. Probably about 10 centimetres. Probably about, how big is 10 centimetres? That big? No.
No idea, Nappers. I don't work with things out. Don't work with things out big.
Probably about 6 inches. Well, so there we are. It's not a penalty. It is not a penalty at all. And there's 13,000 supporters inside that ground, 12,000 all screaming at a referee. And for me, it's a big decision, and Blackpool unfortunately lose the game. And if I'm honest with you, although Wrexham probably had the better chances and more chances in the game, Blackpool dug deep. And in terms of statistics, chances, shots, possession, away at a side that are really good, haven't lost at home this year, in Sky Bet League One as well, in good form, in the, chasing towards the top 2 as well. And, won 4 of the last 6, 45 points. Only lost 3. Blackpool probably deserve to come away with a point, and unfortunately, a refereeing decision has cost them. And absolutely. If I was a Blackpool fan in that situation, I'd be fuming.
Yeah. No, yeah. Well, in an alternate universe, Ben, you could have been. But I don't know, Ben. I'm starting to think Wrexham have got an issue starting games because I've watched them start a few times. Yesterday, I watched the first sort of 5 minutes of their game. I watched the first 5 minutes of the Mansfield game. Obviously, we played them at the back end of November as well. So Wrexham start games really slowly, and I think that needs to be addressed by Phil Parkinson. They let the opposition come onto them far too much, if that makes sense. And often they give away great opportunities, and when they play better teams, they get taken. And Blackpool yesterday, they took their opportunity, and I like you, Ben. I thought they were good value for the point. I know the stats are, I know Wrexham have had twice the shots, but on target, very similar possessions, not a million miles away. They had more corners and stuff and more free kicks to take into the Blackpool area. But a lot of the shots went high, wide, and not anywhere near the goal. Paul Mullins' goal is sensational. It's a fantastic strike. However, like you, I have an issue with the penalty. I don't know whether it's because it's Wrexham. I don't know if it's because Ollie Casey's got his arms up. It gives the referee a decision to make, even though it doesn't come off his arm. And sometimes when referees are in an environment like Wrexham, where there's 12, 13,000 people screaming at the referee and all the context that surrounds Wrexham, you don't want to be the bad guy, if that makes sense. And I can see why the referees got to the conclusion, because from where he was stood, we've got the benefit of the camera. I can see why he maybe thinks it might have come off Ollie Casey's arms, because he's got his hands up like that. I didn't think it. Obviously, with hindsight, it certainly wasn't a penalty. And to lose like that, I mean, I spoke to Callum this morning about it, and he's absolutely devastated. But yeah, it's not a penalty, and Wrexham probably should be sat with a 1-1 draw rather than a 2-1. But these refs are part time. They've had Christmas of their own, Ben. They won't be in peak physical condition either, so they probably let themselves go a little bit more than the players would have done. I don't know.
Bobby Madley was out running, wasn't he?
Hey,
Bobby Madley was out running.
He's always out running, mate. He saw Nigel Adkins on the way past, apparently. But yeah, no, it's a tough one to take for Blackpool, because they'll feel like they probably warranted a point, and a point away. Wrexham is a really good point, because we were talking about that for Cambridge last week. So yeah, I think they'll be disappointed. Obviously, Wrexham, like we mentioned, the good run continues to go on. They're now in that top four. To be honest, Ben, I mean, you spoke earlier about the top four being miles streets ahead of everyone else. I think the top two are streets ahead of the bottom two of that top four. I think Wycombe and Birmingham are so much better than Huddersfield and Wrexham. So yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one, but Wrexham, they're just going to continue to win at home, aren't they? And that's all they'll do. They win at home, Wrexham.
I disagree in the fact that I don't think he wanted to be the bad guy. I think that referees sometimes go to Wrexham and try to be right. I'm going to be a bit tougher because it's Wrexham, and I want to be in power, and they're not used to, I'm being watched today, so I'm going to make sure, that I don't give too many decisions in favour of them, because it's Wrexham. A bit like referees, a bit like United are in the Premier League after they won so many times, and you're scared to add on extra time because you class as Fergie time. There's a question in there as well that someone's just put that I bang on agree. I think there's so many decisions that I've got against Wrexham this year, and that have been poor, and I'm a big believer in it levels itself up eventually. Here we are, a bit like it did when Paddy Lane was offside and we got our revenge a season later.
I'm just
a bit like Tom saw yesterday when Paddy Lane went like that and he had it done to himself. There you are.
I'm making no comment on such thing.
It's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. Whatever you say, I guess
if that goes against Wrexham. I can't Lou Balls, whatever your name is, you'd be absolutely fuming, and you'd be well within your right to do so. I don't think, it shouldn't have been given. At the end of the day, it's not a penalty, and the game should have finished 1-1. So you can say the ref has to make a guess, but it's not. It's not a penalty.
That bar celebration did make my weekend, and what made me laugh is I love Portsmouth fans, but they're all crying about it. When Callum Lang was doing that last week, you know what I mean? Someone's going to click.
It was all right when it was Paddy Lane at the bank, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but if Callum Lang's doing that, they love it. And if he went up to the thingy then and did that, they'd be loving it. And for me, it's disrespectful. It's it. It's football. There's no personality in football. And if you want, clap the fans, well done, unlucky old soul. No, I want shithousery in football. I want personality in football. We're often talking about footballers speaking as robots. Let them show the personality. Let them have fun. You've lost it in football. Just enjoy it. But enjoy it by being disciplined. Here we go. Bolton Wanderers 1, Barnsley 2. Sharon Britton, vote of confidence. About a week ago. Since then, a 0.30 expected goals against Wycombe and played poorly. And then now there's a 0.81 expected goal difference against Barnsley. He never stood a lot for Bolton Wanderers Football Club. And as much as they've been brilliant in 2024, in Sky Bet League One, you can say they're the fourth best team. However, that includes 31 teams. Do you know what I mean? That went down and went up and come back down. Bolton Wanderers, in 2024, right, it doesn't seem bad, this, and people will moan right here, but I'll put it into context. In 2024, Bolton Wanderers were a team who should be challenging for the top 2, right? 18 wins, 13 draws, 11 defeats, right? In their last 18 games, they've lost 8. They lost 4 in the previous 24 games in Sky Bet League One. They are averaging 1.59 points per game, right? Which, if you look at, is around about where Mansfield Town are this year and Lincoln City are this year, around that block, right? For Bolton Wanderers, they are now below those 2 clubs this season in Sky Bet League One. And as much as they are, you can keep telling me 3 points off the playoffs. Bolton Wanderers' performances, in my opinion, they should be about 6 points worse off, right? They've not been playing well, but somehow getting a result. You look against sides that they played above. Lincoln City, they play on Sunday. Mansfield, they beat with an extra man. Barnsley lost. Reading beat 5-2. Great victory, to be fair. Stockport got beat 5-0. Huddersfield got beat 4-0 at home. Wrexham 0-0 and was a poor game. Wycombe 0-0 and Birmingham lost 2-0. Right? If you want to go pedantic as well and go top 12, Charlton lost 2-0 and Exeter lost at home 2-0, didn't they? Their record against sides that they should be beaten and are around them, and you should be beaten if you want to get promoted, is poor. It really is poor, and it's not good enough. They look lackluster. They look tired. They look out on their feet. And they don't look a side void of confidence. They don't have a plan B. And the midfielders aren't moving. I'm looking at the midfield. When players got the ball, there's no movement there. There was no movement with Fleetwood. And that's when you can tell a manager's kind of maybe lost the players a little bit. And it's poor. You know, they're playing a good Barnsley side that are good away from home. Don't get me wrong. But this Barnsley side are gettable. You know, Barnsley have lost 3 of the last 6. Yes, they've won 2 of the last 3. And won 9 games. But people keep telling me, oh, Bolton are doing all right. They won half the games. They've got a -2 expected goal difference. And yes, the 3 points off the playoffs, but they're miles off it. They aren't going to get promoted. They can get into the playoffs. They're not going to win the playoffs. They're miles off it. And I get that things take time, but 5 years, 3 years in League One, I think a change was needed in the summer. Barnsley are unbeaten in their last 8 league games on Boxing Day, winning 5 of which they lost since they lost 5 in a row between 2010 and 2014. I don't know where Bolton Wanderers go from here because the atmosphere at the Uniball, the tough sheet, is very, very hostile now. And when fans turn, they've turned. And I just worry that they're going to turn on the owner, who's done a lot for them and turned that football club around and has the best interest of the club at heart. But I just think the Bolton players are scared. They're scared to play at home in front of the crowd because they know one mistake. In your previous years, you know they're going to go and win 2-3-1. Get the ball, keep going. As soon as it goes 1-0, it's like, here we go. And then the fans get hostile. And the manager, you can see, is nervous. And then the players are just shaking in the boots.
Ben, do you know how many times Bolton have been winning at home at half-time?
Oh, let me go through this.
No, steady on.
I'm just looking at this.
Just have a guess. Just have a guess.
Well, I'm guessing we played 10 home games. I'll go for 6.
Yesterday was the second time they've been ahead at half-time. Bolton Wanderers in
Reading was the other one, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so. I spoke to McQuaid yesterday about it all.
I spoke to McQuaid the other day. Actually, I think you were there.
Yeah, well, I've done a preview with obviously because we play them on Sunday. So I sat and done a preview with him for the game. And first half they were okay. Bolton they weren't fantastic. They didn't blow anyone's socks off, but they were in the game. And they're absolutely devastated because they've lost it with 2 goals in the last sort of 10 minutes. But Ben said in that second half it was coming. Barnsley were getting progressively closer towards Bolton's goal, and they were causing more issues, and they had chances that they didn't take that they maybe should have taken. So yeah, I mean, where do you start with Bolton, Ben? I mean, you've hit the nail on the head. Really, they should have changed the manager in the summer. They decided not to. They've dealt with the playoff hangover, which we know is a real thing because we've seen it so many times. And clearly, Bolton are hungover from that playoff final defeat. And I agree with you. We were walking out of Wembley, weren't we, on that day in May when they lost, and there were loads of fans, calling for the change. And for some reason, I mean, I know this ownership, has done so much good for Bolton Wanderers. It feels like they're maybe doing a little bit of bad. They're tarnishing their legacy at the football club. Ian Evatt, certainly you could say, is tarnishing his legacy at Bolton. And yeah, they're just not good enough this season, Ben. Even though they've got the players on paper, but it has to be
grass.
I know it is. But Ben, what you've got to say is they've got a really, really impressive team, but they're being coached horrifically. They are being so. They're just being coached to be negative, to not be able to use their own initiative. Because Bolton, Ben, so many times last year, and it's the same group of players would have to use their initiative and use a plan B to get around opponents, if they were sat deep or if they were coming on to them. And they won so many games, so many different ways last year. But it feels like they've had that trained out of them a little bit. Look, you take no credit away from Barnsley. They were sensational. We know how good they are away from home. I think that's now 7 league wins so far this season on the road. They're an outstanding away team, and similar to Bolton, they've just got hoodoos at home. But you have to give credit. Keeler Dunn came and changed the game. Adam Phillips, you've been going on about Adam Phillips for absolutely years, Ben, how good a player he is. But yeah, Bolton. Ian Evatt, I know he's sort of playing. He gets to the brink, doesn't he? And then he gets a result to save himself. I've got a feeling that he's going to get a result to save himself a little bit on Sunday.
He's already talking himself down so he don't get abuse. There he is.
To paper over the cracks. But something needs to change at Bolton. Whether they can. Do you think, Ben? Do you think Stephen Schumacher would do it? Because I know.
Yeah.
Because he's turned down 2 champ jobs already.
Local, proud football club that will get behind him. I think Ryan Lowe would do it. One thing I will say on Bolton Wanderers, 2 things. Lastly, I don't think Ian Evatt will change his ways, because then he looks like he's weak and he's wrong and his ways. And then as soon as you start changing it now, because the players will feel the pressure of the fans. And if the fans will think it only takes, Ian Evatt, I'm not sure, maybe something in training or the way he speaks to you. Oh, no, I'm not playing for you. I don't like you. And then you lose players in little groups. And if he changes it, it's like, well, I'm not sure about him. He don't know what he's doing. He's always changing it. He's flapping. He's not sticking to his ways. Why should we trust his ways? Because he keeps changing it. So he won't change. And Sharon Britton at the top, now she's put that statement out, and she's not sacked him. She's not changed it when he should. That I feel like she's backed herself into a corner a little bit. And if she now changes her mind that, what she says in future doesn't mean much because, she said it and 2 weeks later she sacked him. So, what a laughing stock, she shouldn't be an owner. So that's just my idea of it. But I also think as well, Ian Evatt came out about a week ago before we played Wycombe and said it's been the toughest period of his life and he's struggling. Charlie had him a week before he got sacked, said he needs help and needs guidance. Well, for me, I just think that he's struggling in his personal life. And, that's fine. Things happen. And hopefully that, there's a lot more to life than football. But realistically, I think he should step to a side. And we'll step Bolton to a side as we go on to Birmingham City 2, Burton 0. It was Burton Albion's first defeat in 7 league games against side from the West Midlands. They previously won 3, drew 3. They lost the last 3-1 to Wolves in the Championship back in March 2018, Jake. And Burton normally a great record on Boxing Day, winning 8 of their last 11. They actually won their last 2 against Blackpool and
Lincoln City, 3-0. Yes,
Jay
I know.
Stansfield, the boy wonder, has now scored 7 goals across his last 7 Sky Bet League One matches for Birmingham City, and he's added 12 in his last 15. As many in 43 Championship games last year, as well as Birmingham City got relegated. And Birmingham City won 8 of their first 10 home matches for the first time since 2008-9, and first time they remained unbeaten since the 2018-19 season as well. Won the last 3 home matches, keeping 3 clean sheets for the first time since March 2009. 3 clean sheets for the first time since 2021. And Birmingham City won on the Boxing Day for the first time since 2018. They're winning games of football. They're keeping clean sheets. They're not winning 3-0, which is annoying me because I keep putting them to win 3-0. They keep getting to 2 and stop them playing. But a good result for them. Again, solid. And they've already nearly got as many points as they did in the whole of last year, which I think got 50 points last year as well. They've already won more games. 75% win record, 48 points, green grass of home in terms of win. Ben. Great result for them. And that to just about secure League One safety for another year, which I know the Blue Noses will be absolutely delighted with. What a phenomenal job the owners, the manager, the coaching staff, the players are all putting in the football club to reach those expectations and hit it and exceed and do real well, because everyone was waiting for Birmingham City to lose a couple of games and go to give them abuse, to get on it. They're not really giving that. They've lost a game. They've always bounced back stronger and become better. And sometimes these, like getting relegated, was the best thing to happen to them. Losing to Charlton, losing to Shrewsbury, probably the best thing to happen to them. And since there's been no little international break, they've just stormed it, haven't they?
Was it a penalty, Ben, in your eyes?
No. No, not a penalty.
I think it's soft, but I can understand why it's given, because you see it given as free kick, I suppose, elsewhere on the pitch. So I can maybe understand it, but it is soft. And I can understand if you're a Burton fan why you're pretty upset. But yeah, apart from that, Birmingham didn't need to get out of second gear. Burton never really caused them any issues. 78% of the ball, 13 shots. Didn't allow any on target. Blues only had the 2 on target themselves. So this isn't vintage Birmingham, but this is Birmingham in first gear. They didn't need to get out of it to beat Burton. And like you say, Ben, 48 points already so far this season from 20 games. But then they're not a million miles off. They must that's like 2.3 a game. 2.2 a game. That's mental. If they carry that on, Ben, I mean, you'll know what they'll be. They must be scheduled to get like 100,
24, 48, 72, 96, 120, 132, 134.4.
That's what they'll get, is it?
No, hang on, that don't work. Well,
24, 48, 130 points to play
72, 96, 108, 110 they're currently on for.
So they're on for 110 points. It's not bad, that, is it? They've been as much as we sort of say, you know, how well we love Birmingham, but you know how much as other fans get wild up by them, or they spent all this money
now.
They've been a really good addition to the league, Ben. A really good addition to the league, because they've shown teams that can come down and they can bounce straight back up with the right investment and the right people in charge and a refresh. So, yeah, really good yesterday. But for Burton, we're not really judging their season on a sold-out crowd away at Birmingham City, are we? We're more thinking about, you know, games against the likes of Shrewsbury, the likes of Cambridge, Crawley, Northampton, Bristol Rovers, for Burton. So, yeah, I wouldn't be too upset. Although, yeah, to only lose to a penalty and an own goal was pretty good going. I actually thought the own goal was pretty unfortunate for Max Crocombe, because it's the posting that goes back in off him, which is like I say, unfortunate. But yeah, great win for Blues. They're flying high, and the next couple of games, Ben, Blackpool at home on Sunday. I think they open up 2025 an away game at Stockport. Now that's going to be a tricky one. So We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Birmingham City, they're in for a shock, and they're shocked absolutely nobody by absolutely storming the league. So well done, Blues. Enjoy the championship.
93 people currently in the chat. If you could like the show, that'd be massively appreciated. But also subscribe as well. It would really help. It's free to do so. Just press it. We do League One lives every single big game week. We'll be back here on Monday evening to do more Sky Bet League One live as well. So make sure you like. Well, we are. I've not told we are. Make sure you.
I'm actually getting some payment for these extra shows, mate.
Well, if we get more members, I'll start,
Oh, okay. I see how it is.
There you are, Sue. Have a go at him. He's asking for money. Have a go.
You're my whole Christmas period is preparing games to come and work for you. It's my entire Christmas period.
Well, you get nothing in January, the money YouTube pay. Exeter City have now lost 2 of their last 12 home league games against Bristol Rovers, winning 6, drawing 4, though the Grecians haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 8 matches against the Gas. And Bristol Rovers, sorry. Bristol Rovers have won just 1 of their last 7 league games against Exeter. That victory did come last year in that 1-0 victory. Can you tell me who scored? Do you remember him?
Brandon Aguilera.
Aguilera, yeah, there we are.
You wanted me to say it so that you didn't have to pronounce it.
Yep. And also that the name slipped to the back of my tongue. I know it began with A, but I couldn't remember. Again, good victory for them. For Exeter into the top 12 now, 30 points. Not bad.
Exeter are a decent side. However, I think Bristol Rovers can be pretty frustrated with yesterday. They went in front, deservedly so as well. You look at the amount of shots he had, shots on target more than Exeter. Chances they created as well, they maybe should have pulled more than one in front as well. But they're going through promise. I think that's now goals in back-to-back games for Cherry. Scored against Wrexham on before Christmas, and then yesterday as well. But Exeter, they come roaring back. Really solid side, Exeter. Milan Akali, we saw score that really good goal away at Burton on before Christmas. Richards, now that's not a name I'm overly familiar with, Benny. And Fitzwater, 2 of the lads that don't normally take the headlines, but 2 goals for them. I'm trying to find out if they came off but no, Fitzwater's a centre half. And Richards, he came off the bench for McDonald, so he's clearly a midfielder of some description. So, really good, solid win for Exeter, like you say, over 30 points. Now, you look back at this time a year ago, Ben, and Exeter were on that really barren run, weren't they? But this year they seem to have. I know they've lost and won the same amount of games, but they seem a little bit more consistent. They win one, they lose one, they win one, they lose one. So, good win for Exeter. Bristol Rovers will be kicking themselves because they'll see that as an opportunity missed to go points clear of the relegation zone, given that all the teams pretty much below them lost apart from one. It's a disappointing afternoon for them, but they'll bounce back for sure if they can continue to make as many chances under the new manager. Who, Ben, I'd like to get your thoughts on. Ignio Calderon, who I think was the right back for Brighton. When they got promoted to the Premier League the very first time. I don't know about you, Ben, but I prefer that appointment to Kevin Nolan.
Yeah.
Because he's been working for Brighton's 18s, and Brighton have got a really, really good cheers, Josh. Thanks, mate. Got a really good academy set up. They really look after them, and they play a good brand of football. I know it's different doing it from an 18s to a first team, but you often see managers who do have that route through football progress and do really well in a first team environment, whereas you take an ex-pro who has been doing some coaching, but he's not been the main man. He's had not a lot of responsibility. He's just hidden behind David Moyes. I can see why Bristol Rovers took the gamble, like Ben says there, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it's one that I quite think is progressive. And I could certainly see Bristol Rovers, if they can back him with the finances, which Bristol Rovers have now got under the new ownership, Bristol Rovers in 18 months could look a completely different football club.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a gamble worth taking. I think, I'm saying this now, if Calderon was English and Kevin
Yeah.
Nolan was Spanish, you'd be thinking the exact opposite. Kevin Nolan is
Yeah, but
English.
no. I
No,
wouldn't,
listen to
because
me. Listen to me.
Calderon's. He's not got it because of his playing career, though, has he? He's
No,
not got.
listen to
He's
me.
gone and
But
done it.
Kevin
He's
Nolan
gone
has
and.
managed before, right, and done okay. Had a little bit of winning football in him as well. The way also Calderon looks as well, he looks like a guy that plays with good football.
A
He's got a
sexy
beard.
Basque man. Is that what you're saying?
He's Spanish, right?
He's
Kevin Nolan
Basque.
looks like a typical guy that would go down to the pub, have a pint of Carling, and have a full English breakfast. You know what I mean? He doesn't look appealing. You know what I mean? He's a typical, right? And I think that you are judging it off that, right?
I'm not.
And you can give me the joyous. I'm not going to say the word BS about that, but I think as much as not a massive fan of the Nolan appointment, I think that I'm not sure on it. I think my judgment is I need to see it before I believe in it. Everyone's like it because he's Spanish. It's something different. Full Feliz Navidad, hola. You know, always. You know what I mean? And people like it because it's different. They do. They really do. And yeah, I'm not sure. I honestly believe Bristol Rovers, the squad isn't a good squad. It isn't a good. It's a good enough squad to stay in the division, right? But in my opinion, there's probably Burton, Albion, Shrewsbury, Cambridge, Crawley, Northampton, Bristol Rovers, Stevenage, Peterborough, potentially. But I think we'll be okay. Rotherham will be okay, I think, in the end as well. I think those 6-7 clubs are in a relegation battle for me. Peterborough, Rotherham will pull away. I'm not convinced on this Bristol Rovers team at all. I keep hearing this every time a new manager goes in, every time they have a rebuild in the summer, they're going to be different. They're not. There's issues behind the wall at our football club. I really like Bristol Rovers. I want to see them do well. And I'm probably a bit hard on Bristol Rovers, but look, it's better than Matt Taylor. But I'm not conveniently sure. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a gamble worth taking. And look, he'll probably prove me wrong, but at this moment in time, I think that people are preferring that appointment because of nationality. And if Guardiola was English, then yeah, would he be as raved as highly? Do you know what I mean? I just think that these managers these days are judged on, we don't see young English coaches coming through. And look, he's been out of the game, Kevin Nolan, for a while and come back in. Do you know what I mean? I think that two different roles. But yeah, Huddersfield 1, Stockport 0. Huddersfield side have won on Boxing Day in each of the last 4 years. Winning more actually between 1914 and 1924. Not going to make a joke this time. Stockport have won one of their last 17 away days on Boxing Day, losing Louis Barry. Poor defeat for them. Few defeats slipping in. 3 wins, 3 draws. 3 wins, 3 defeats. 36 points from 22 or 27 points from the last 19. They're still steady away getting results. They've only lost 6 games all season, but losing Louis Barry is going to be massive. And that gap, realistically, between Exeter and Stockport is 6 points. The gap between Stockport and Huddersfield is 6 points, and they played a game more. And that's where I go to show I think the top 4 are cemented in, and the other 2 places could be anyone's.
Yes, mate. Sorry, I was just sending a message to somebody. Yeah, no, it was it was unfortunate for Stockport that going behind to the own goal, 45 odd seconds in, and it was actually a game that looks fairly evenly matched again based on the stats. Huddersfield a team that are better without the ball, and Stockport a team better with the ball. So yeah, it was a really well evenly matched fixture. Huddersfield got the fine margins this time around with their own goal, but yeah, they just continue to win at home. Huddersfield. I know you can't forsake that, but they're just starting to pull away now, like we said, from the rest of the league, aren't they? They're doing particularly well, and to beat a team like Stockport as well, who are the chasers, aren't they? Because they're in that pack. It was a real big statement to the rest of the league. Look, the game wasn't a classic. It was actually quite a poor game, but they get on the right side of it. And that's what Huddersfield just need to continue doing if they're going to stick, because if you think about it, Ben, Huddersfield's job is really to stick in to the top 2 race for as long as they physically can. I know they're 5 points off it at the moment, but let's say Stoke, for example, they've just got rid of their manager. Will Matt Bloomfield be of interest there? If Matt Bloomfield leaves Wycombe, that could lead them to spiral. If Richard Kone is sold next month, that would cause them to spiral as well. Wrexham, we've said it before. Sometimes that they don't play well, but they're winning. Sometimes that might come well to an end. So Huddersfield have just got to hang in there. They'll reinvest in January. You'd imagine they certainly need a goal scorer, a different type to Danny Ward, maybe someone more of the Callum Marshall style. So yeah, they like Adam says there, they're not fantastic, but they get the job done. They're efficient. They're Michael Duff, Ben. Michael Duff has really put himself. You can see this is a Michael Duff team, can't you? And we said this when we went and saw them a couple of weeks ago. They're hardworking. They get it out wide. They take the gambles. They win second balls. They do the basics really well, and they did that again yesterday.
They do, and yeah, you can say they scored 2 more goals than Wrexham, and they're great to watch and 2 points per game. They're not a great watch, sorry, but they get the job done, like you've said, 2 points per game, 13 wins, regularly win games of football. They're just typical, English brunch. It's reliable, trusted. It's going to do okay. Going on to the games that kind of we'll get through a bit quicker now. Charlton 2, Cambridge 1. Before this, Charlton Athletic had won 4 of the last 17 league games on Boxing Day, drawing 8 of which, losing the other 5, and were winless in the last 3. Miles Lieberman is the first player to both score and assist a goal in back-to-back league games for Charlton Athletic since Igor Vetterkelly did against Norwich and Brentford in the Championship back in 2015. And Charlton are unbeaten in their last 9 league games against Cambridge, winning 5 of which, only conceding more than 1 goal in in 3 matches. In one of those matches. Cambridge United have won 1 of their last 10 league away games against Charlton. Not a great record for them. Last winning in 1991. Another defeat for Cambridge, who, again, they get on a decent run and they're now only 1 point in the last 3. For Charlton, though, slowly but surely, getting their act together. Unbeaten in 4, 1 defeat in 6, winning 3 of which back-to-back wins. 8 points from the last 4. 4 points off the playoffs. Still not a great watch, but 5 goals last week has kicked them on.
Yeah, it was effective, wasn't it? From Charlton, again, they weren't fantastic, but they were able to brush aside this Cambridge side. That like we say so many times about Nathan Jones football, it's not pretty, but it gets the job done. And similar to Michael Duff, but a little less successful. They got nice in front through Tyrese Campbell and Miles Lieberman. Lieberman yesterday, I thought, was probably the best player on the pitch from a Charlton point of view. He played really well, gets himself 2 goal contributions as well. Cambridge, I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? Because, like you say, they get themselves ahead of steam, and then they go and put in a couple of performances like they do. The one thing I have about Cambridge is that they have a run where they're in games, but they've still got that side of them where they can get hammered one week. Like we've seen it before, haven't we? Yeah. Peterborough away, Huddersfield, Reading, they got absolutely torn apart as well. So, yeah, no, I mean, there's still, Cambridge are only 4 points off Northampton with a game in hand. If you like to think that if they can get a result in that game in hand, then they're right in and amongst, the teams outside the bottom 4. Charlton, like you say, I know they're 4 points off the playoffs, same games played. Are they playing good enough football to warrant being in the playoffs at the minute? I'd probably say no. They probably need a couple more players, but defensively they're very good. Just need to add a couple of goals to the team because Lieberman, I know he's come back from injury. Matty Godden scored a couple of goals. They need something different up front. Maybe someone that's got a presence. They paid all that money for a Hadmey, and he's not quite hit the ground running.
Never worth that amount of money.
No, he's not, and I think it's unfair on the player because We know he's not worth that amount of money.
No.
That's what it has been paid for him. So there's instantly a lot more pressure on him. I think if he had signed for maybe 300 grand, I don't think the pressure would be there on him. So yeah, no, it's wow. Thanks for that hot take, Ed. It was yeah, Charlton. It was a routine win for them.
Huddersfield are a big threat. Oh, he's coming out with them.
He's good at these, isn't he, Ed Walker? Should we ask him how we got on against Farley, Nappers?
Yeah. Is it the actual Ed Walker?
It is the Ed Walker. Yeah,
is it?
Of course it is.
Yeah. What a guy, by the way. £6.66 donation.
Great,
legend. Thank you so much. Means a lot. And you know what is good value for money? A membership. Join below. Let's see if we can gain a member on here. Join the legends. We're going to upload a video tomorrow as well. A bit of an update for you. And we've also got 2 videos before the new year as well. For members, loads of content on there as well. Rotherham 0, Wigan 1. Rotherham United failed to win any of their last 10 Sky Bet League games against Wigan Athletic, Championship and League One. Drawing 4, losing 6, scoring just 2 goals across their last 8 such matches. Wigan have lost just 1 of their last 11 league away games against the Millers as well. Seem to have the number as well. A 3-2 defeat on Boxing 2016 as well. Great result for Wigan Athletic. Again, positive, better signs. 7 wins now this season. They haven't been a great watch all season, if you think about it. But Baba Adiko just before half-time as well. Johnny Smith laying him up. Good win for Rotherham again. You look at it. Didn't really create much. 3 shots on target again at home. Not a great watch.
Well, we said this about Rotherham, Ben, didn't we? Yeah, no, Wigan... They deserve to beat them, I think, based on yesterday's showing. Babradiko, like Charlie says, there was first senior goal. I know they go on a lot on the Progress of Unity podcast about when he's eventually going to score that first career goal, but really good for a Wigan-based academy graduate to find the net. It just shows you that what they're doing there is working. And they've got more coming through the ranks, haven't they? And obviously we speak about Sam Tickle, Charlie Hughes, who left. But they've got young Stones on load at Oldham, who's ripping up trees for them. So clearly work on their academy, which is really good to see. And it's starting to pay fruits in the first team now. But yeah, 15 shots, 5 on target, did a job on Rotherham. Rotherham a really poor side at the moment, but Wigan just took advantage of them. So yeah, great win for the Ticks, and it sees them comfortably in that mid-table range now. So yeah, fantastic for Wigan. They're only they're only 7 points off the playoffs. Nappers, a bit of January recruitment, and we're maybe talking about Wigan doing something special this year.
100%. You never know in football. Long way to go yet, but I still think they're a little bit while away. Last game. Shrewsbury 1, Lincoln 0. Shrewsbury have won 3 of their last 4 home league games against Lincoln City. Lincoln City, well, Boxing Day isn't for them. I think they've been eating too many of Sue's brownies on Christmas Day because they come out a bit like puddings. And all conveniently, Sue's been supporting them for around this length of time as well. So since Sue's been on the case Christmas, whatever she cooks them at Christmas, right? They've lost 6 of the last 7 Sky Bet League games on Boxing Day as well. Including 4 of the last in a row. So is Sue the problem?
No, Sue's not the problem. Sue's not the problem. The players are the problem.
You can always come to our Boxing Day games in future, Sue.
What do you know who we lost to on Boxing Day last year, Nappers?
Oh, it wasn't Blackpool. Bolton. No, Bolton was the 29th.
No, it wasn't.
Bolton was just that. Was it Bolton on New Year?
No, Bolton was Boxing Day. Bolton was Boxing
Bolton?
Day.
I didn't know Bolton was the 29th.
Northampton was the 29th.
You lost both, didn't you? You lost all 3, didn't you?
We lost the one before away at Derby as well.
But then you got your point away at Wycombe.
Yeah, and we went on a run.
To Derby, where you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we won that cup final. We drew that cup final against Peterborough. Look, I'm not going to take anything away from Shrewsbury. They absolutely deserve to beat us yesterday. Gareth Ainsworth plays a really agitating style of football. If there's one manager you don't want to go 1-0 down to, Ben, it's Gareth Ainsworth and whoever he's managing, because they make it so frustrating from the opposition point of view. And Shrewsbury managed the game really well. From the goal, the Morgan Feeney goal, from a Shrewsbury point of view, it's really, really well worked, the short corner. But if you're Lincoln City, you've got 7 players in the inside the 18-yard box, and Morgan Feeney's completely on his own. It was awful. It was horrific. It was the P word for defending, is what it was. It was that bad. Going forward, we didn't offer a great amount. There was a chance in the first half Dom Jeffrey should score, and if he does, then maybe it's a different game. But yeah, we were forced to play the way Shrewsbury wanted us to play. We were dictated by Gareth Ainsworth, and that's what good managers do. And when Shrewsbury had such a bad start to the season, they kept 1 clean sheet before yesterday. They looked defensively really solid. Jamal Blackman in goal had a really good game. I think maybe Mal Benning could have been sent off for a second yellow. I don't know how he wasn't. But then Dylan Duffy should have been sent off for a really poor handball in the area. The only Lincoln player that can come out with any credit from yesterday, in my opinion, and Sue's going to absolutely love this, is George Wickens. That's now, he saved his GG. He saved his last 2 penalties. Really good penalty save as well from John Marquis, which I giggled at. George played really well. Only player to come out with some credit. But we watched the players get off the bus yesterday, Nappers, and they just looked tired. They all looked like they'd been asleep. I don't know. They just didn't look up for it. None of them really looked up for it. And the record you say there on Boxing Day is as bad as it is. And I don't know, mate. I'm not complaining. Shrewsbury deserved to beat us. We weren't good enough for the win, or good enough for a point, and that's what happened. It's frustrating to lose to Shrewsbury, giving them their 2nd clean sheet of the season, but we didn't do anything to deserve it. So it's not like in games where we'd lost before, for example, say the Barnsley game, or another game that I can think of that we lost where we probably shouldn't have lost. I don't want to say Birmingham because there's loads of Blues fans here, but games where we maybe could have got something, when we haven't. It wasn't one of those games.
No, you were shocking.
Wrexham was one I thought we could have got something from.
Rotherham.
Rotherham. So look, it is what it is. We're still in and amongst the playoff chat. We need defenders, big time. We need Jacko to come back. We need Lewis to be able to play 2 games in a week. We just need something different, and hopefully we can go on a run. But we're still well placed, 9th in the table, 3 points outside the playoffs. And we go to Bolton on Sunday. Really tough place to go. We haven't got a good record there at all, but given the way Bolton have been playing, we might go there and get a win and Lincoln off and do better against the better side. So no complaints from me, Ben. Normally I like to say that we didn't deserve to lose, but yesterday we deserved to lose 2 games of football.
Shrewsbury, the only team in the bottom 10. Blackpool, Stevenage, Peterborough, Rotherham, Bristol Rovers, Northampton, Crawley, Cambridge, Burton all lost yesterday. Shrewsbury picking up that victory as well. 6 points adrift now. One thing I like about what Gareth Ainsworth did, he beat Birmingham and then lost 3 on the bounce, if you remember rightly as well. And then drew last week at Wigan, coming from 2-0 down. He said after that last defeat, we're going to have to change things. We're going to have to adapt, because he obviously lost to Cambridge. He lost to... who else did they lose? Wycombe they lost to, and there was someone else they lost to as well in that, in that period. I can't remember who it was. Blackpool lost to Blackpool at home as well. And then he said, we're going to have to adapt and do things differently. That's not worked for me before. And to do that and get 4 points, why not? Why can't this side? I generally believe because of Gareth Ainsworth, they could stay in the division. Northampton at home is absolutely massive for them. And then
they'll win it. Based on what they played yesterday, I think they'll beat Northampton.
Bear in mind, if they win that, they go 3 points off Northampton Town with a game in hand. And I would fancy Shrewsbury in that situation.
Gareth Ainsworth has just got a knack, mate, of doing this. He's
It brings
so good
people together. I love him.
And
I think he's
as much as it
brilliant.
wound me up yesterday, if Shrewsbury can continue to win the fine margins, if they can game manage the way they did yesterday, and the crowd, I don't often give away home fans credit, but I thought Shrewsbury fans were excellent yesterday. I thought they made a lot of noise. They really got behind the team. And you can tell that club is slowly but surely, it's got Gareth DNA all over it. Hard working.
He's been in a month
together. Bit. They know they're a bit weird, but then they really enhance it. They really love it, and
they're different. They're unique.
They are, and they accept it. And Gareth, I apologise for our supporters at the end. We love you. They didn't mean the booze. They were just frustrated at our players. I apologise.
Weird, unique, different to the rest, of an image that you can only love. Other people might find it strange. And no, I'm not talking about my co-host. Predictions. Let me know.
Yeah, clear off, Ben. I'll be honest, Ben.
You've not done them.
I've not done them. But
you lazy boy.
I'm busy. All right.
So am I.
I've been busy. God, you give me a
work them out for next week.
It's me first, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, wait, is it? Wait, is it? Wait, no, it's not. It's you.
First. Is it?
It's you. Wait there. Just promote your membership. I'll be 2 seconds.
Membership. If you fancy joining my membership page, it would be very much appreciated. For stuff like this, I'll give you 10 seconds. This is one of the older ones. Big thank you to you lot at home. I like to be along the seaside. Oh, I do like to be beside the sea. Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. Oh, hello. There you are. You had 10 seconds of absolute garbage there, Jake. Scrambles. But you get membership videos. Join below as well. $1.99 per month. Better than some other subscription pages you'd get for that price, believe me. We want Joe Taylor. That is not the Ed Walker, by the way. I wish Shrewsbury all the best. I hope they stay up.
It's me first. It's me first. Me first. Fantastic. Hold on. Let me get my... So, game week commence, 29th of December. Charlton versus Wycombe at the Valley. Well, that's a good one, isn't it? Wycombe are good away from home. I'm going to go Charlton 1, Wycombe 2. Oh, Ben.
1-1.
Rotherham versus Stockport at the New York. I don't know. I really don't know. Rotherham versus Stockport at the New York. If I could just have Charlie tell me how bad Rotherham were, I reckon I might be able to delay. Charlie, how bad were Rotherham? No, I'm joking. 1 each.
I hate you so much.
They were very poor. They are, look. Use Charlie's indicator.
2-1 Stockport.
Oh, that's how poor they were. Birmingham versus Blackpool. I'm going to go...
Birmingham versus Blackpool?
Yeah, Birmingham versus Blackpool. I'm going to do this purely to wind nappers up. I'm going to go Birmingham 3, Blackpool 0.
2-0 Birmingham.
You watch, they'll win 3-0.
I'm going to go 2-0.
Bolton versus Lincoln. I'm going to go Ian Everett keeps in a job. Bolton 2, Lincoln 1.
1-1.
Orient at home to Cambridge. I'm going Orient 2, Cambridge 0.
2-1 at Leyton Orient.
Exeter versus Crawley. Love you, Charlie. I'm going to go Exeter 2, Crawley 0.
Exeter 0, Crawley 1.
Oh. Peterborough versus Barnsley. I'm going to go Peterborough 1, Barnsley. No, I'm actually going to go Peterborough 2, Barnsley 3.
Peterborough 1, Barnsley 2.
Oh, that's what I was going for before. Oh, that would have annoyed you.
Yeah.
Huddersfield versus Burton. Huddersfield Huddersfield 2, Burton 0.
Huddersfield 2, Burton 1.
Reading at home to Mansfield. I'm going to go Reading 2, Mansfield 1.
Reading 2, Mansfield 0.
Wrexham at home to Wigan. I'm going to go Wrexham 1, Wigan 0.
Wrexham 2, Wigan 0. You've
Shrewsbury
still
at
every
home
one
to-
but 2 of my predictions so far.
Shrewsbury versus Northampton. I'm going to go Salop 4, Northampton 1.
Shrewsbury 1, Northampton 0.
And then Stevenage versus Bristol Rovers. Stevenage 1, Bristol Rovers 0.
Shrewsbury 0. Stevenage 0, Bristol Rovers 1.
They are. That's predictions done for another week, Ben.
There you are. Any questions? Get them in. Last 2 minutes or so. Thanks for joining me, Jake. 80-minute bonanza.
Bonanza.
Been a long
Bonanza's
day.
not a
long
thing,
week.
mate. I'm surprised we've gone on so long, Ben, because the darts is back on.
I know. I need to go and watch it.
Who's on tonight? Anyone good?
Cullen's just had an absolute thriller with Getawin Price. And yet again, lost in the last. Does he? Oh,
yeah. She does, yeah.
Yeah. Lost in I realised when you said that. Lost in a last leg shootout for the second year running. Last year, lost to Humphreys, who won it. I've got Price to win the whole tournament from the beginning.
Who was I most impressed with from Shrewsbury? Jamal Blackman.
Plays on the pitch.
Jamal Blackman.
Right.
I had a nice little moment with Jamal Blackman when he came out for the second half as well. Yeah, got in his head like I did with Wes Burns a couple of years ago.
What did you say to him?
What, to Wes Burns or Jamal Blackman?
Jamal Blackman.
I said Jamal. I was right. I was shouted to him. I said, Jamal, no time wasting from you this half, please. And I wagged my finger at him like that, and he just laughed and wagged his finger back at me. And I said, "We've seen you before, Jamal, you know." And he just started laughing. Do you know how I got in Wes Burns' head?
Go on.
I said, Wes, I'm mates with Nappers, right? I said to him, and he looked over straight away as soon as I said your name. And I said, how much did you pay this fucking referee? And he just started laughing at me. And clearly I got in his head that much because he had to be taken off 5 minutes later because he was angry. So that's 1-0 to me.
Yeah. Well, you are strong enough. You've got enough goals. You'll be fine in my eyes.
Of course they
I
are.
think that you'll stall about top 10 like you did last year. Remember Orient last year started poorly, went on a great run around this period. Until about March and kind of just crumbled away. He's irreplaceable. He really is.
There's not like a left forward type similar to Louis Barry that's being really productive in either league, really, is there?
No.
Not in like centrally. If you're going to play through the middle, there's players that probably would work. But like where Louis Barry plays, you're probably looking like maybe an attacking midfielder. Maybe I'll tell you who I think might potentially work, but I think it had a different dynamic. I think maybe Dan Crawley would offer something like technically quite similar, but like he doesn't have that burst of pace like Louis Barry does. So
I think Steve Evans.
What, as a replacement for Louis Barry? Oh, right. Could you imagine Steve Evans trying to run down the touchline?
Be as good as you. Anyway, on that note,
steady on.
Thank you so much for watching today's League One Live.
It's true religion, mate. It's like Travis Scott. So.
If you could like, subscribe on your way out, it'd be much appreciated. Jake, thank you very much.
Thanks, mate. Really, really, really appreciated the therapy session.
Have they now? Interesting that. Anyway.
Oh, Nappers knows something.
Anyway.
Nappers. What do you know, Nappers?
Well, all I can say is he might be the second Melon to ever play at Fleetwood. Potentially.
Ooh.
I'm open here. I'm on my knees.
Yeah, he's never coming to Fleetwood. Mate, why don't you try and get someone like JJ McKiernan? Much more your sort of player.
However,
Hey?
all the
Hey, look,
argument about
Jake McKinnon's way better than
compensation.
Fleetwood, but
Imagine
he's alone.
you had to go to a tribunal just to pay his transfer. Oh, just I don't want you 3 months later. Thanks for watching. Hope you did enjoy it. Please like, please subscribe. Jakey, thank you very much for joining me.
Are we doing this again, are we? By the way, Ben Darrell, this is not BP. This is True Religion, mate, which is a proper nice brand. I got it for Christmas, so thank you. I'm not particularly in a mood. Are you having me on full stereo? What do we sing, Ben? What on earth
Well,
do
we can put the overlay on and we can decide for the last 2 minutes. Thanks all for watching. Give us a like on your way out. Subscribe on your way out. Over 50% of you guys that watch these shows aren't subscribed. Come on now. Thanks for watching.
Put the imps. I know what I'm going to sing. I like it, I like it, I like it, I like it. Whoa, whoa, here we go. Super George Wickens in goal.
I like it, I like
That's one for you, Sue.
like it. Oh, here we go. Oh, Lincoln lost away at Shrewsbury.
Doesn't really go, mate, does it? What else have we got?
Sarah, whatever will be, will be.
You lost to
You're
Shrewsbury.
going to Crawley. Okay,
Not again, I'm not.
Pathetic.
Read the room. Thank you, Sue. Super George Wickens and go. What a player.
Love that woman. Love that
He's a
woman.
lovely lad as well as George. He's a lovely lad. Came
Love
over
him.
twice during the warm-up. Lovely lad. Took his Haribos, ate his love arts, told us all about his Christmas. He's a lovely lad.
Bye all.